All right, hello everyone. So today what I want to do is show you how to do your architectural design for your virtual exhibition that you'll be creating of your own work. What I've got here is the Kellogg Gallery in pretty great detail. So I'm going to start off by just modeling the gallery and showing some different tips and tricks to making like the front door area and how to make things open and close and subtract different sections so that you can apply different materials to them, all of that kind of stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and hide all of my layers here and start from a blank area. And now we're going to just basically begin by drawing the shape of the gallery. So I have the dimensions of the gallery right here. Okay, so I'm just going to start right at the front. And the first dimension I'm going to do is the front doorway. So let's do a line. I'm actually going to use a polyline. So a polyline is actually just a line that has multiple lines attached to it. So instead of starting the line over again, it will just allow you to keep going. So I'm going to draw from left to right here. I'm going to go 204 inches, click. Then I'm going to come down 113, enter, click, go over 325, enter, click. And this is all based off of dimensions that were measured in purpose. 396, enter, click. 330, enter, click. 166, click, and $665, click. 342, enter, click. And this is really why Rhino is such a good program, is because I'm actually drawing these lines to the right size. So the scale of the person who's walking through the virtual exhibition will be all correct. You're not fudging it. You're not basing it off of artistic license. This is actually the size of things. So then we're going to do 849. Turn this way. And 508, oops, 508, click, 312, click, 396, enter, click, 307, enter, click, and we were pretty close, but looks like we're off a little bit here. Not a huge deal. I got one of these dimensions inside instead of outside. Ah, yes. It's that one up there. So that's the exterior shape, or the interior shape of the gallery, the Kellogg Gallery. So now what I want to do is I want to give it some wall thickness. I'm going to make a floor using this. Basically, this is our footprint, and now we just expand off of that. So here I'm going to offset this object and give it a wall thickness. So I'm going to use offset, enter, and always paying attention to the command line. It says offset distance is set at 1. I can change that now to 10. And then if I click on this and go outside, because the inside is the footprint, this is going to be the exterior walls, and then click. Now we've got a 10-inch thick wall all the way around, ready to be made three-dimensional. Okay. There's a couple of other geometric things that are happening in here that we'll add as we're going. There's a door over here, but first thing I'm going to do is actually put the little side walls that kind of extend over here in, and this little doorway over here. So let's go ahead and draw a line, and I'm just using this line as a reference line. Go from this point in, and I've got 8 inches. And then I'm going to go this way, And we've got a doorway that is how big? Let's see. (58 inches). So then we can offset this 58, click that way. So there's that door. And then over here we've got 118 inches on either side. There's a wall here. So I'm going to just draw a rectangle, and I'm going to go 10, and now it's constrained that way. Enter. And then I'm going to go 118. Enter. Whoops. 10, enter, 118, enter. Okay. And then I'm going to move this, M for move, enter, grab this point here, and just put it right there. And then I'm going to copy this, C-O-P-Y, and put it over here. Oops. Okay. And then in the front of the gallery, we've also got a large window area. That is 184 inches overall. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to draw a line in the middle here and divide the 184 by 2 and offset it each way. So 184 divided by 2 is what? 92. Okay. So this is the front door, a couple of pony walls, and we've got the wall over here, or the doorway that leads back to the office area that we're not even going to bother drawing because nobody's going to go in there. All right, in the highest area of the ceiling, so we're going to draw the wall height. 168 inches high. So that's how high we're going to extrude this thing. So if I switch to my perspective view here, and then I extrude 168, enter. Now you can see that is going to be the area that is the highest part of the gallery. But this is also going to be where the roof line is and all that kind of stuff. So now I'm going to grab just this little poly line that's on the outside, and I'm going to copy it from this base point up to the ceiling, so that I can now extrude this 10 inches. And that gives us the roof. And then I'm going to come to the inside one, this curve here, extrude this down. I'm just going to do maybe 6 inches. So that's going to be our floor. And if we look inside the space here, you can kind of see we've got ceiling and floor. Now, our gallery has different ceiling heights throughout it. So the front of the gallery is at one height, and the back of the gallery is at another height. There's a wall that kind of comes down as you enter the gallery. But I'm going to actually now add the rest of the kind of footprint or floor plan for the entirety of the area. So just draw a rectangle and extrude down, I don't know, 10 inches or so. You got to make sure that it is more than what your interior space is. So this is going to be the ground plane. Let's hide this right here and hide this right here. We have this extrusion that goes into the floor here. Let's go ahead and delete that. The way that you create the negative space of a shape. So we want to have like the floor as a different layer, as a different material or a different layer than the lot or the area around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this extrusion and I'm going to go Control or Command C to put it on the clipboard. And then I'm going to Boolean difference. So if I Boolean difference, click on the lot, enter, click on this, enter, and now it's subtracted out that space. And then if I just go Control V to paste it back in, or Command V if you've got a Mac, now you've got no overlapping geometry and two different materials at the same spot here. Two different areas that I can make materials in the same spot. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a little rectangle here and extrude that curve up. And I'm going to go up, was it 10 feet maybe? I got to double check. Whenever you're hearing clicks, it's because I'm moving and dimensioning my drawing on the other side here. So hold on. Actually, it's 118 inches, so let's see. 118. Okay, so that's going to be our front door area. And let's right-click on the light bulb to bring everything back. And then I'm going to just Boolean difference out to get rid of that space. So let's go Boolean difference. Click on what you want to keep, enter, click on what you want to get rid of, enter, and now we've got the opening for the door. And then I can just extrude this up again and use this as a plane to create the door. Okay. And about at this point, I might come through and actually change all of the layers and label them properly. Call this the walls, call this the ceiling or the front ceiling, and then we'll make the back ceiling as well. So the way the back ceiling is going to work, let me hide this roof here, is I'm going to extrude up these two curves here to there. And then I'm going to actually just trace out the shape of this area in here using a polyline. Okay, and you're always checking to make sure your lines went to where they're supposed to, and if they're not, you might not have your snaps on. Make sure snaps are on, ortho should be on, everything is nice and straight. And then the ceiling height comes down to right about where the door frame is here. So I'm actually going to extrude this curve and base it off of this distance here. So extrude curve, and then I'm going to go from here, whoops, to there. So same distance from the top of the door to the lower part of the gallery in here. Okay. And then I would put that on a different layer too. So it's starting to come together, and you can kind of see how the walls work and why we use Rhino instead of other programs, because we're very accurate here. So I would just keep going on this, make sure you label everything with different layers. Making the door is basically very similar to making the floor separate. So I'm going to now make the front door just to show you that little bit, and then we're going to return to my previously baked version of it and export this into Blender to clean it up and get it ready for the Unreal Engine.